What is up, my beautiful gemstones? Welcome to Friday night's live intuitive oracle with myself and Ghostdragonzw. I hope all of y'all that celebrated Thanksgiving had an amazing holiday yesterday and got to spend time with your family and or your loved ones and ate lots of food and are now about to eat a lot of leftovers. I have this thing with Thanksgiving where, like, unless I cooked the food, I don't really eat leftovers. It's so weird. I don't know. I'm weird like that. But I did have an amazing day yesterday with my mom and my aunt, my sister. Oh, Netter is not joining us. That's not good. Latros first, Lotus is second, and I gotta say, I was just lounging around today, being like, oh, nice, like I get to rest all day, I don't have to do anything. And she texted me, she's like, hey, aren't you streaming tonight? And I was like, oh yeah, it's Friday. The holiday kind of messed me up where I thought today was Saturday. So thank you, Miss Lotus Girl. I just needed a day of recuperation because even though I was with family and loved ones and I had an amazing time, for me to be around that many people for that long is like very draining for me. And I also I get really scared in the car sometimes, like I don't know, like if a truck comes too close or like if I don't trust the person that's driving, not to like, I have to like really, really trust them. I'm not someone that's going to fall asleep while you're driving. Like I'm scared and I'm a very anxious, nervous passenger. So if I'm with someone who isn't sensitive to that, who doesn't care, or who, God forbid, thinks it's funny and decides to purposely do things, it can be really stressful for me. So I kind of spent today recuperating. Blue Crossroads, what is up? Josephine Van Dam, thank you. I see your donation. Jim, hello. Cowie, Richard Elmore, happy 66th birthday to you. Mark Halstead, I'm so sorry that you're sick again. But we can wish you love and light and pray for you. And I hope that works. I want to talk to you guys and I'll mention it here and there throughout the stream. I know it's the holidays. I know the economy isn't the best right now. I pay for Christmas through YouTube. So the next YouTube check I get is on December 21st, and everything from now until then that I would make to get gifts for my son and my family would come from donations or sales. Okay, so I want you guys to please just keep that in mind when thinking about donating, if you have extra, or if you want to just if you're able to. Of course I don't like asking, and I can't wait till I can get back to a place where donations are like, wow, that's great, and I'm not completely and totally depending on them to buy a $400 dirt bike. So I'll mention it again towards the end. Remember, you donate $2 for the reading through PayPal or Cash App. Ghost even has Venmo if it's absolutely necessary. But if you donate through YouTube, it's got to be $4 because YouTube does take half. That's the same with any donations. If you make a huge donation to YouTube, one, I will only get 51% of it, and two, I will not get it until December 21st. So if you don't donate through PayPal, Cash App, or Ghostdragonzw Venmo, I definitely still appreciate it. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I will not have that donation until I get paid for next month on the 21st. And that's only if the 21st is a weekday. So enough with the heavy. Let's bring in, oh, hey, Melissa. Oh, good. Lotus is still here. Thank you, by the way, for reminding me. I mean, I'm sure I would have remembered eventually. Ghost would have asked me about it, but I completely forgot that today was Friday. Let's bring him in. Hello, sir.
Hello. You do this while I'm typing every time.
Sorry.
Do it this way, and it's slow.
Yeah, then I'll know. I'll definitely know.
Anyways, hello, Richard. Happy birthday, sir. And I'll say the rest of my hellos as I call names. Roger. Since you guys are hanging out and come and go, I'll say hello to you.
Yeah, you guys feel free to hang out. You don't have to get a reading, obviously. Yeah, nope. Lotus, I'm usually pretty good with it, but today I guess the holiday kind of messed me up a little bit. So, but we're here. I'm just really nervous. So I'm hoping, so I won't get that money until the Monday, the 23rd. And I won't be able to get Christmas gifts for Christmas at that time. Because even with Amazon Prime, because it's Christmas, everything is backed up. So I do need your guys' help. If you're able to donate anything, at all through PayPal or Cash App or Venmo. Again, I don't like asking, but it is the only way I'm going to be able to keep up with Christmas this year. You can also buy some stuff, autographed copies of my books or boxes or even just sprays, oil rollers, things like that. And you can always email me or text me if you have my number for those
I
things.
hire out real cheap. I'm a good house cleaner.
It's also Maraid's birthday. I know she's not in here, but I want to acknowledge happy birthday to Maraid.
Happy
What is up,
birthday,
Bat
Maraid.
Mom? All right, if nothing else, let's jump right in here.
No.
Let's do it.
I'm ready whenever you are. Well, Lotro is first, but he's not back yet, so we'll go ahead and do Lotus.
Okay.
Then Blue is next.
All right.
Is that fine?
Yeah. Tennille, I'm going to use Alice the Wonderland Oracle. Yes, please be sure to hit the like button. Richard's birthday, so it's, he gets a reading if he wants one for his birthday. Yes, Miss Girl. Bat Mom, I can relate to that. 7 years of it. So I feel for you. I really do. That is not fun. That is horrible. I hate it. It's like living in the 1700s. I got you, Richard. If you have to leave, though, let us know. Otherwise, I'll just call you in the order that, you fell in. All right, Miss Lotus Girl, you got the card of mortality. What's up, Miss Carl? How are you? Life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to live. And you had a really good December reading, like the end of December going into the beginning of January. I was really happy to see that for you. I want to keep you positive, healthy, and on that timeline, Tennille. All right. If that there king was to wake, added Tweedledum, you'd go out, bang, just like a candle. I shouldn't, Alice exclaimed indignantly. Life is, as Tweedledum points out, a strange thing where we can go out in just a moment. None of us knows how long we have, and no matter what we believe or tell ourselves, we are all mortal in this form. This lifetime is just one brief, bright jewel. Alice denies this, but it is the truth. We are all mortal, and we all pass. We must know this so we can hold on to the precious gift that is this existence. When this card comes, it doesn't mean you're about to pass away. It's not a card of death, but a reminder of the beauty and the fragility of this existence. It urges all of us to take this life and make it as beautiful, as meaningful, and as full of adventure as we can. Too many of us live as if life is a burden, awaiting another lifetime or a heaven which will save us from our difficulties and challenges of being mortal. Instead of living as if there is a forever or a better place to go, or as if other lifetimes or existences in the afterlife will be better, we have to live like this life is all we have. Live like this is the very best you can ever experience. Live like this is the greatest blessing, the most treasured gift you could ever have been given. Life like this life is heaven. I think it's supposed to say live like this life is heaven, and your very existence is a miracle of creation, because we can and we will go out like a candle someday. And when that takes place, the only true measure of a soul is what we did here with this priceless gift of human life while we were here. Divination, appreciation of existence, relishing being alive, making the most of every moment, accepting mortality in ourselves and in others, living in the present, feeling joy at being alive. So, Tennille, I feel like this card is, I feel a little of I feel like, sorry, I got a cramp and a yawn at the same time, and I'm not even tired. I feel like this card is kind of cliched in a way, because it's really is a card of gratitude. It's a card of understanding that at the end of the day, we may not be in control of things that happen around us, but we are in control of how we react and respond to those things that happen. And for some reason, this is coming up for you, Tennille, because I don't feel like things are as bad as they were at one point. I feel like they are getting better. The thing that happens, and this isn't just you, a lot of people are going through this right now, when things start to change for the better and go in that brighter direction, as we start to vibrate higher and understand things better, what happens is we're constantly waiting for the bomb to drop. You know what I mean? It's like winning $1 million in the lottery, but like in the back of your head, you're like, okay, somehow this ticket is fake. Somehow, you're just putting that negativity out there out of habit. because something always goes wrong, right? And I feel like a lot of us, especially in the last few years, do feel this way. The energy of the collective is toxic and nasty, and it is changing. I've seen the timeline. I've been seeing it for a long time, and it is changing. But Tennille, this is coming up for you to tell you that something that's coming in, that it either seems too good to be true, or even on a smaller scale, it may just be like a blessing, or something that's a blessing in disguise, that you realize, oh my gosh, like this is happening so that X, Y, and Z can happen. Try to only think that, right? Don't think like, I wonder what's going to go wrong now, or like, this is just the calm before the storm. Like, no, whatever this is. And I do feel like it could be, doesn't have to be, but it could be, I'm getting like very like new beginning type energy, like the start of something new or the rebirth of something old. So definitely like putting an idea into action, or finding a more, what's the word I'm looking for? When you find a better way of doing, I guess I can just say like finding a better way of doing things, an easier way of doing something. Don't focus on anything negative or think about, I mean, obviously you want to think about the pros and the cons of everything you do. And of course, there's always going to be in the back of your head, something could go wrong, but do not focus on this. The universe, see her eyes, how clouded they are. The universe wants your eyes to be clouded to the point where you can't see anything dark. You can't see a negative side to this, even if you try. Yeah, but Tennille, it hasn't always been. I'm sure you can think back to a time. Hi, Kirsty. Welcome. I'm sure you can think back to a time where you just took good news or good things that happened to you at face value. It's that we become energetically jaded, even, and spiritually jaded, that we just feel like no matter what we do, this is the life we charted for ourselves and there's no changing it. And that just isn't true. In my experience, from what I understand and what I've learned from being a lifelong medium, you cannot cancel soul contracts. A lot of people think you can, and they'll put you through these crazy rituals. And if it works for you, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it is just your thinking you did that. And when you get to the other side, you're going to understand that that was your humanity, right? There's no doing that. But what you can do is alter your own actions in your own timeline to fit your chart. So to break this down for you, Tennille, in the next week or two, I see something changing for the better. I can't think of the word. There's a more, dang it. It's a better way of doing things that just makes more sense. And while you're hesitant maybe to try something new or to do something different or do something new, then the universe wants you to like go along with it, right? To go along with it and try your best not to think about anything bad happening, and don't make room for the bad energy, right? For the nervousness or the looking over your shoulder. Let me let my sister know I'm in stream right now. I was watching Roseanne. Steven, you can talk. If you can talk for a second, I would appreciate it. So you see I'm doing this.
Hello. Hello, Christy. Welcome in. Hello, Lotus. Hello, Blue. You're next. Then Josephine, if you can hear me, you're after Blue, okay?
All right, Blue. Survival mode all day. I wish I could think of this word. It's driving me crazy. Hopefully I'll think of it by the end. Blue, we are going to go once again with Deep, Dark, and Dangerous for you. And by the way, it's good to see you. Kirsty, welcome. I know you're a new name. I love when the new people come in. You are so welcome, my girl, my soul sister. I love when new people come in and hang out and mingle and see what it's all about. You know, I appreciate it. I respect it. Oh, great. Oh, guys. There might be something happening with my oldest son. You guys know I'm not on my phone during stream, but I just want to make sure everything's okay there. All right, Blue, let's see what's going on. So all of my friends who celebrate Thanksgiving, did you guys have a great day? Yeah, better alternative, but it's more than that. It's just a word, and I'm gonna kick myself later when I think of the word. All right, so the card that popped out blue is Callie, card number 24, the card of love. And she is dark. Yeah, Josephine, I already acknowledged. I got your donation. Thank you for that, guys. Don't forget $2 to PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, or $4 through YouTube. That's minimum. You can obviously donate more if you want to. That's just minimum donation if you want a card. That's good, though, Tennille. You guys need the rest. Blue, love isn't always pretty. Love is authentic and appreciates authenticity. Sometimes real love means you allow someone to make mistakes. Boundaries may be necessary to assist someone you love in the long run. Love is eternal. Acceptance and love can help you negotiate any transition, in particular ones that you are afraid of and hesitant to make. The Hindi god Shiva, the destroyer, sees Kali Ma, Kali Mother, for the first time. He fully takes in her sight. He trembles in fear, the awesomeness of her, for she is time itself. She is naked because she is infinite and has nothing to hide, as time is being beautiful and terrible all at once. Shiva sees her open mouth and understands that everything depletes and changes before time, and time swallows everything eventually. The wonder of this, the truth of her. He notices she wears a small hip skirt made from human hands, which represents all of our deeds and actions merging into time. She wears a necklace of skulls, which represents all human thoughts, which may be great or poor, worthy or unworthy, and these merge into time. She holds a cut head in one hand, representing the evil demons of all of our natures and negative destructive egos, and Shiva knows that these too will be suppressed and subdued by time. He sees her dancing on the flame and ashes blackening her body and knows deeply that everything is not needed can be purified through her. He realizes with shock that she is compassion itself. Everything can be given to her, everything, all of it, and she will transform it. She, in her fierceness, will turn it all into love. Shiva sees her finally and loves her immediately. Fully. Plant companion, sandalwood. Crystal companion, iron, metal. I'm just letting my sister know I'll talk to her after stream. My oldest son is going through a very rough breakup and he's not taking it too well. So, all right. So Blue, I don't know if you got this card before. I do remember pulling it last week, but I'm not sure if it was you that pulled this, or if it was like in a personal or something like that. Worked at a friend's nonprofit yesterday to feed elderly patients and disabled vets. I love that. I used to volunteer at, when I was younger, when I got to a certain age, my dad was completely involved in whatever he was doing. So it was just like me at like 10. And there was a place by my house that would give out free food to anyone who needed it. So I would have to go and get food from there. Otherwise I wouldn't eat. So when I got older, I would like volunteer there to like feed people, and I bring food and stuff there. Not my son, my sister. She said some drama went down, but that it's nothing to worry about. And if anything does happen, she'll call me. Otherwise, she'll take care of it until I'm done streaming. So if my son calls, that's a different story. I'll have to back out, but I'm going to try to stay focused. It's you know how like when you like somebody, you think they're a good person, but then you see them with your child and you're like, oh no, this isn't working. And then you try to stay neutral, you try to remain neutral, and you try to not get involved, because if they get back together, you don't want to be the bad guy. But eventually you get to a point where you have to say something as their parent. I'm at that point. Blue, what this is talking about is accepting, not expecting, accepting the unexpected, understanding that whatever this is that's going on in your life right now, and I think I know because of your personal readings, but I'll keep it kind of vague in chat. So if you have questions afterwards, you can always ask me. But I do feel like this is like you're dealing with something you may not have ever dealt with before in matters of love. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be, opening yourself up to a new kind of friendship with somebody unlike anyone you've ever been friends with, or somebody that you normally would have looked at, whether it's in a romantic relationship or a friendship. Like looking at someone and being like, we are so different. I would never be friends with them. What would we have in common? And then suddenly you're understanding that like you have way more in common with this person than it ever looked like. That's what real love is. Love is being open to love and to loving and accepting love from anyone. That doesn't mean you do. It just means you're open to the idea, right? You're not looking at people and going, oh, heck no. I found like the greatest and most profound conversations I've ever had were with the homeless addicts in Patterson. I would stop and talk to them and buy them a coffee and give them a couple bucks and just have these conversations with them. So profound, like finding out like I had so much in common with these people that normally I would just walk by, that I was taught to walk by and like, help myself feel better than them. And then eventually I was them. So I was glad that I had that heart for them at the time. And that's kind of what this is talking about. It's just being, understanding that whatever's going on with you right now, either with a new friend or a romantic interest, it's something that you're not going to be able to control a narrative with it. It's just something that you're going to have to go with the flow. And I feel like you really have been doing that. I also feel, Blue, like this is, it did come out, right? So this is just something like, expect the unexpected and expect to go with the flow. This doesn't mean you let someone walk all over you, let someone manipulate you or use you. It means that your mind has to be so open right now in order for you to really receive what's coming in. But I don't think you're having a hard time doing that. I feel like this is just reassurance that you are doing the right thing. The love, again, romantic or friendship. I don't really do love reading, so this could be a friendship. It's definitely there. It's definitely simpatico. It's definitely a great thing for you that's going to enrich your life and the other persons or people involved. But I feel like it was just so sudden and it's so different and difficult that you could question, like, why do I need to be friends with this person? Right? I've got 50 friends. Well, I don't do love readings in this stream. I mean, just in this stream. I do them for pay outside of this stream. So it's like, why this person? I've got 50 other people I call friends. I've got, 20 other people interested in me romantically. Why this person? And that is the point, Blue. This person, because it was meant to be. And I feel like the other person or people, because if it's friendships, it could be multiple people. We're dealing maybe a group that you're joining or something like that. Thank you, Local Squatch, and welcome. Bat Mom, exactly. Thank you. You guys are so amazing. I really do love y'all. The other person probably, or the other people are probably feeling the same thing. Like, what are we doing hanging out with this guy? Or this guy doesn't belong a part of our group, But everyone is willing to be open-minded and accepting of the others, and you're all learning so much, or the both of you are learning so much. I feel like this is just reassurance that this is not a one-sided thing. This is something that's meant to be. It's going to unfold over time. And I'd definitely love to know more about that, like privately. I feel like this is just reassurance. This is like a pat on the back. I hope I didn't scare away the new people being on my phone. I didn't mean to, but it is my family, and I am a boy mom, so. Who's next?
Josephine.
Well, Batmom, if it wasn't for Steven, I would have messaged this 25-year-old and threatened her the other night. I was so mad. I was so mad. I'm just tired of it because my son, he looks, it's not that, he's very attractive. He's got, I showed you guys one green eye, one blue eye. He's a gorgeous guy, but he's very big and he can be intimidating. But this kid, if I cry, he will cry. Like, he's got a huge heart. He was tearing up in Steven's stream the one night because he's like, he's just such a nice guy. Like, he's a big teddy bear. And unfortunately, there are women that take advantage of that and that make him feel like everything they do wrong is his fault. He's stuck in a cycle of narcissistic abuse. And I worry for him because this person really has a hold on him. And I'm to the point now where it's like, chick, we're both adults. So what do you got for me? I'm not dealing with this anymore with my son. I have tried so hard for years, to be neutral. But I noticed that neutrality, most of the time, neutrality doesn't help anyone but the bully, right? Neutrality never helps the victim. It never helps the victims. You can be neutral all you want and be like, oh, I'm not going to get involved. That's fine. But you're not helping the person who's being put down by staying neutral, by not saying anything. Oh, I like that song, Local Squatch. All right, Josephine, this is you. We're using Dark Goddess. Guys, please don't forget what I said. Donations are my Christmas. So anything y'all can do, I do appreciate it. Through PayPal or Cash App or Venmo. Tomorrow we've got breakfast with Santa. I didn't know we were doing that. Like, we had planned it, and then some other people wanted to get involved. Nobody ever got back to me. And then my friend who I had originally planned to go with messaged me today, and she's like, oh, we're going to pick you up at noon. And I was like, for what? And she's like, breakfast with Santa. I was like, oh my God, I forgot. And I have no money coming in. I'm trying my butt off to sell boxes, the Christmas boxes. I'm trying to sell, autographed copies of the books. I'm still working on it. I only have 2 weeks of this month to work. So I got to get caught up on the December readings. It's going to be hard, but I'm trying to stay focused. It's very, very hard when you work so many hours a week and you don't get paid. But at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes you have to do that to get to where you want to be, right? Like, I've got to put in all this work to get to where I want to be eventually. And that's why I changed some things. If y'all have been watching the shorts, and I'm sorry if I offended anyone, I have a specific opinion about things, but it doesn't mean that anybody is not welcome. Like, everybody is welcome on my channel. I don't care about what your ideas are. And I would never be rude or put you down over your ideas. I'm sure a lot of you feel very differently than I do politically. I don't talk about it in this chat, but I have been posting shorts about it. I feel like I may have to branch out a little bit from the paranormal and oracle, because let's face it, at 4 years, I'm still working 70 to 80 hours a week and not making any money at all, except for like $140 a month, once a month. So, maybe I failed in this way. So very overwhelming. Local Squatch is funny. Josephine, Oya, the card of deliverance, death, destruction, woe, and loss, deep despair among chaos, withstand the storm to be free. Deliverance is liberty. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. Turbulent, unsettling times reach a climax, heralding the end of something major in your life that you can no longer avoid. Take Oya's hand now as she blows it all asunder, scattering the debris of the past far and wide. Oya will ensure no hint of the difficulties remain and lead you through this time of death and chaos to something new. Deliverance is her gift when you face death in all of its forms, for without death, the cycle of life would cease to exist. We would cease to be, and all that you have yet to experience would not have the space nor opportunity to manifest itself. This African goddess of old is to be welcomed and treasured, as her presence now is the stimulus you need to move forward in your life. Trying to take on this immense force of nature or fight against it will prove your undoing. Learn this lesson now, and what awaits will make it all worthwhile. A house move further afield is likely. Let go of old patterns and behaviors. A job is coming to an end. A death changes your outlook. End an unhealthy relationship. A birth in the family is announced. Take a last-minute holiday to somewhere unfamiliar or vacation. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Josephine, what this is saying is, okay, let's use... I love it too. I'm definitely glad that comedy is making a comeback. Real, funny comedy. Josephine, let's use an abusive relationship as an example. I do know that's something, I don't know if it's physically abusive. I just know there's toxicity in your romantic relationship with at least one person that I think is in the past, but I'm not really sure. Let's say you fight for this relationship to make it work. You make all the changes necessary. You're depending and counting on this toxic person who's never done anything for you to make more changes. You can do that, and you can wait around. And even if they change a few things, you got to wonder how long, is the change really going to last, right? While you're doing all this, your life is passing you by. Opportunities for real love, somebody who respects you and accepts you as you are, doesn't ask you to change every single thing about yourself. I changed every single thing about myself in the last 6 years. Everything. and I'm told you didn't, or you changed. Yes. Yes, I did. I was dying back then. So yeah, I did so I made some changes. But as you're fighting for this, even if it's like a job, I know it's so hard, and I know it's so easy for me to sit here and say, this is happening for a reason. You charted it. It's going to be okay. We don't want to hear it's going to be okay. We want to hear it is okay. But the fact of the matter is, the more you sit and play pretend and pretend like this is or is going to be okay, whatever this relationship is that this card is referring to, and I do think it's romantic, what's really happening here is it may end up being all right, but it's not what is supposed to be. This is not your destiny. You've learned everything you can from this person, situation, relationship, situationship, whatever. Okay? Bat Mom, I would love that. I would love that. Let me know when you're free next week. As this person's also learned everything they can from you. And if they are ever going to change, I do believe people can change, but because I've done it, right? So even if they do change, they're not changing for you, right? I could have changed for 6, 7, 8 boyfriends. I chose to change everything for my husband. He was the person I said he is worth changing for. And whether that ended up being the case or not, because I made positive changes, it worked out for me. It doesn't always work out that way. You know, it doesn't always work out where you're able to emotionally detach and, raise your vibration and go through life in this way, but sometimes it does. And Josephine, I just think in your case, it's not going to happen. Oh, there's your answer, Ghost. She was on the phone. He's like, what happened to Lotus? Is she mad with me? Yeah, mine just froze a little bit too, guys. So if you end up not being able to hear me, yeah, Richard, you're next. I do see the little Wi-Fi thing poke it up. So if I freeze or y'all can't hear me, tell me immediately so I can start again. Richard, happy birthday. Aging like a fine wine or a fine cheese, I'm sure. I'm using the Oracle of the Divine Circus. Miss Lotus Girl, it's so nice you're in here, but don't wear yourself out, okay?
Exactly. Thank you, Lotus. I was worried, girl. Usually you tell me, hey, boy, you've been bad. But you didn't say that.
Blue Crossroads, thank you. I was like, I didn't see who wrote that. I just saw that like someone did, and I'm like, yes, I'm bringing them in. I'm bringing them in. The TikTok family. I'm doing pretty well over there. People love my Oracle, but they really love my political stuff. That's why I've been kind of keeping it over there. And, I'm a multifaceted, to use our baby girl Jules's name. I'm a multifaceted person. I'm all over the place all the time. And TikTok is more like how my mind works. Like today, I want to be political and I want to talk crap and I want to state my completely hilariously cruel opinion, right? But then there's that part of me that is like, I'm a spiritual leader, or I'm meant to be one, and I need to focus on that. And that's more like my YouTube stuff. Local Squatch, I absolutely agree. The lesser of two evils is still evil. But, I guess we've spoken. But again, it's not something I would ever bring to this stream. So regardless of whether or not you agree with my political opinions or not, you're always welcome here because we will never talk politics. Thank you, Local Squatch. I feel that way too. Thank you. Hey, Life with Bobby. I feel that way too. I just wish I can get more outside business, make a business out of it. I offer readings. Latro, hey, yo. I wish I could be busy with Amazon. I need to make money, guys. I need to make money. My son wants this dirt bike, and he really deserves it. That's like the one thing I want to get him. Somebody offered to buy my YouTube channel, and they told me to tell them what it was worth to me. So they would have taken it over. I would have taken Gemma Jade and Oracle and all that over to just start a new channel. It would have been heartbreaking for me, but they were like, yeah, like, hey, Timoth man, tell me what it's worth to you. And I was like, I did the math and I was like, okay, I'd have to start all over again. So if I take everything I make off YouTube, meaning Patreon memberships and my YouTube, like ad revenue / donations, not like the outside donation, but through YouTube, at most I make like 400 a month. So I times that by 24, because I was like, it took me 19 months to get monetized again. So I'd have to make all that money. So I told them it was like 9,000 and some odd dollars. And they're like, yeah, it's not worth that. I'm like, yo, to me, it's worth everything. I really didn't want to do it, but I'll tell you what, if they had given me $10,000, I would have been like, oh, sorry, guys, follow me over to this new channel. You know what I'm saying? Of course I would. I don't know, like, I know I'll figure it out. I know that I'll be able to get him to pay Santa to bring him his dirt bike. Just gotta figure it out. Gotta make some sales. That's the biggest thing. People don't buy anything. Roar. All right. Richard, birthday boy. Pixie Perot, card number 36. Within you is an intelligence that helps you adapt to various life circumstances and situations. You might do this consciously or unconsciously, but the point of any type of adaptation is survival. The Pixie Perot card brings you a message. There is more meant for you in this life than merely surviving. You are actually meant to thrive. The oracle reminds you that you thrive most fully, abundantly, and deliciously when you are just you. Not the version of you that another person may prefer, nor the one that helps you to fit into a crowd, but just you, just like you've always been. Richard, even if that doesn't seem like enough for some people, it is more than enough for you to have the life you deserve that would bring you the most peace, happiness, and love. When the oracle of Pixie Perot comes to you, it's time to get back to the essence of who you are. It might be time to go back to the things you dreamed about in childhood, or something that really feels like it expresses the true you, but that you cast aside for some very logical and sensible reason or other. That might be a talent, passion, or lifestyle you are pursuing, or a deep-seated need to create or express yourself through art, clothing, music, or dance. It's time to reclaim it. From little dreams and childhood fantasies, a full-grown life purpose can blossom. Even if it seems fanciful rather than practical, don't drop the ball. Give yourself a chance to be and be seen, to live and thrive as the real you. You are you for good reason, not by error, oversight, or mistake. Love yourself and let yourself live, thrive, and express the original genius of you. Okay. This is actually a really great reading. Rebirth energy. You know how I was talking about like changing everything about myself, but for the better, right? And eventually, because I wanted to, it started as I was doing it for someone else. Once I realized that person literally didn't care at all, I could either continue on this path of growth, raising my vibration, changing my vibration to reach out and help others, or I could have reverted back and started using again, or, gave everything up or whatever. And Richard, I do feel like you're in a mindset like that. There's something in your life that really isn't working, but I feel like you're still doing it or involved in it to like please someone else or to please others. It no longer has anything to do with you. It's become bigger than you. For example, and I'm just using this as an example, say that you always wanted to be on Broadway, but your parents talked you into becoming a lawyer. Now you're a lawyer, you're making all this money, you have a great life, but there's something inside of you, particularly with turning 66. Hey, Divine, and anyone else I missed, welcome, guys. You're coming to this point now where you're like, am I doing what's best for me? What's right for me? Is my heart still in this? Was my heart ever in this? You're asking yourself all these questions. And this is the universe saying to you, as long as you're being authentically you, even if you're just going through the motions, you're going to be fine. But if you want to thrive and you want to really live and you really want to do what you were put here to do in this lifetime, you're going to follow your instinct and intuition. You may not end up on Broadway, but maybe doing like community theater. And again, that's just an example. I don't know you well enough to know like what your interests are, but like it's time to do things for Richard now. not for your wife or your kids or your parents or your Aunt Jemima. It's just time for you to do for you. And this is not selfish. You've spent your whole life giving and doing and providing and, sacrificing. Again, even if it's not a complete career shift, it's like cutting your hours to make time to explore this new part of you. This is definitely the time for that. If you have the opportunity to do something you've always wanted to do, even if it means sacrificing a little bit of money or time, if that's reasonable, like if you were a lawyer, that'd probably be like reasonable right now, do it. Because you don't know when an opportunity like this is going to come again. And this is going to put you on track with your spiritual path, your charted path. I don't know why I said Aunt Jemima was the first aunt name that popped into my head. I should have said Aunt Edna. Where is she, by the way? Is she okay?
I hope she's okay. I haven't heard from her. She apologized for missing.
I saw that.
So
okay.
The Saturday night stream. Next, you just
yes.
did. So next is Latro, since he's in here now, and then Mr. Mark.
Latro, I'm going to use Deep, Dark, and Dangerous as well. Yes, that mom, that is divine. I have an amazingly attractive group of people in this stream specifically and particularly. Okay. Divine is covered for a reading as well.
She's a member too, so.
Is she a member? I wasn't sure, but if not, she was covered because it was kind of part of the thing I'm doing with her with the box. She's reading for me, so.
Hello,
like
Tim.
I said, guys,
how you doing?
I barter. Tim Mothman's a member as well. Thank you for that. She's beautiful. Single, putting my motorcycle club patches on again. Yeah, exploring that part of you. Listen, people always say, oh, your birthday is a rebirth energy. And people are like, well, I don't feel that way. Well, you won't. If you're not doing the work, it's just another day. You have to be working all year long towards coming into your birthday and embracing that rebirth energy and really living it, right? I believe if you're in here on any sort of regular basis, or like there was a new person who came in and left, probably because of my yapping, because I do scare people off because I talk too much about personal things and I'm not just like one reading after another, after another, after another. And some people do see that as unprofessional, as well as my vaping and all, whatever they do, like they're not meant to be here. If you're in here, you're doing the work. Even if this is all you do spiritually once a week. The energy I try to put out, thank you, Miss Divine. I kind of knew that in the back of my head, but I wanted to make sure you were covered. All the energy that I put out and that everyone in here puts out with knowledge and like without even realizing it is something that we all soak up. And that's why when we come into this room, this chat every week, we can come in miserable and leave feeling at least better. Divine, I want to show you something, but if your daughter's with you, I don't want to show you. So let me know. I told you I was going to put some special things for her in your box. And I got this one thing. There's a lot of stuff, but I want to show you this one thing. Latro, I'm going to read for you. And then I'll show this. Latro, you got the Kate C. And I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. Okay, let me show this really, really quick. So this is a perfume bottle. These are the kinds of things I put in the boxes that I sell, guys. So it's like the old-timey, and I'll make her a special scent just for her. But I just thought this was really beautiful. And that's for her. One of the things. All right, Latro, thank you for your patience. Kate C, the card of focus, card number 36. I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong, and it is a dangerous card. Latro, pay attention, check details. Small mistakes may have big consequences. You get multiple chances to have success, but every opportunity can and will pass you. In the misty cold air of the Scottish Highlands, there stalks a dark feline. Good, I'm glad. I hope so. A dark feline who, it is said, can do a lot of harm. Secretive it is, huge and black, with a jaunty white spot of fur upon its chest. If you don't pay attention, though, this mighty cat can and will steal your soul. If someone dies, careful watch is held over the body for a day and night, lest the Catesy come to steal the soul away before the righteous gods can claim it. This vigil is held by candlelight with an unbroken team of family and friends so that the Cate cannot pass itself over the corpse. Stories are told about the person, and food and drink is provided, sometimes songs and keening too. This is to hold the Cate's attention and focus so there's no chance that it can strike and take the soul. This is just part of the mythos of the Catesy, the giant cat that stalks the mountains. Another myth about the Catesy is that witches change themselves into this creature. So this would be the stereotypical black cat, which is familiar, right? But there is a catch for the witch. If she doesn't pay attention to how many times she has changed into the cat form, on the 9th, she cannot change back to her human form and must stay a Catesy. This is where the idea that cats have 9 lives come from. The Cates also offer blessings on one night of the year, Samhain, which is Halloween, and only if a saucer of milk is left out for it. If households neglect the offering, it's said their cows go dry. Interestingly, for many years, the idea of a large cat mysteriously appearing in the forest in Scotland was considered pure fantasy until actual large black cats with white patches on their chests were reliably seen. That is actually true. In the last 3 decades, these cats have been showing up all over the place where they literally don't belong and there's no way they can survive. You guys can look into that. I was going to cover it on my channel, but the animal mutilations got barely any views and I wasn't going through that crap again. Where was I? It is thought that they were and are Kellis cats, which are a hybrid of the Scottish wildcat and a domestic cat. So your plant companion is catmint and your crystal companion is one of my favorites, Highland serpentine. Nutslab bought me a Highland serpentine ring a few years back. I think it was for Christmas. I'm not wearing it right now, but it is a beautiful, beautiful stone. It's serpentine, the beautiful green, the two-tone green, but it also has like some brown in it as well, tannish. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. So Latra, what I see happening here is there's an offer coming in. Maybe not even an offer, just like an opportunity that the universe is like, take the leap of faith, jump at it, because you're not going to get this opportunity again. And whether whatever this is works out or not, right? You're going to spend the rest of your life regretting, or at the very least asking, what if? What if I had taken that chance? What if I had, moved across country and took the job? Again, whether or not whatever the initial opportunity is works out or not. So say I'm going to give you an example. You live in New Jersey like I do. I know you don't, but just say you do. And you got your dream job offer that you are more than qualified for. You were offered the job, but you have to move to Nebraska in order to get the job. Now, you don't want to move to Nebraska. It's a lot different from New Jersey. You have no friends there, no family there, but you can take the job. The point of this card is the job may not last, but you might meet your soulmate and end up getting married and living happily ever after. Or you might end up in a different position that you didn't even know you wanted. Like that initial opportunity, that initial reason that you would take the jump has nothing to do with anything. It's like an afterthought. It's just to get you to where you need to be so that the universe can work its magic on you and help you fulfill your destiny. And I know that sounds cliche, fulfilling our destiny, but fulfilling our destiny is actually just walking our chart, living our chart. I would say definitely anything that sounds like, whoa, that's crazy, why would I ever do that, is what you should be doing right now. Obviously not to your danger or detriment. I just mean taking big risks with, moving or changing jobs or getting out of long-term relationships or getting into a relationship with somebody that you never thought you'd be with. And again, that relationship won't be the point. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Divine. Thank you so much. Ghost, I'm going to send that right to you so you could put it in my PayPal, because I have this thing called Adobe that keeps trying to take $40 out of my Cash App. They're saying that like I ordered, I don't know, like I've never used this. I've been trying for 8 months to get these people and just tell them, like, I didn't order this. You can look. I've never used this. I don't know what happened. But they keep, I just saw it again. I'm like, oh my God, did they get the money? So what I do is when anything more than $38 comes into my Cash App, I Cash App it to Ghost and he puts it on my PayPal. And that way, until they let me speak to a human being and I can figure this out, they are not getting anything from me. Latro, jump. Being able to recognize opportunities, a life changer. It happened a couple of times. Great thoughts, good read. Yeah, and please just don't be afraid to take risks. This is not someone trying to bamboozle you. Again, the initial thought, I had to move to Nebraska and take this amazing job, but dang, I'm going to be in Nebraska. That is not the point. That job may work out great, but you're going to realize very quickly after taking the risk, after taking the leap of faith, that it's just not going to happen.
Got him.
Divine Empathic, thank you so much for supporting me in this way. You know, I cannot thank you enough. It didn't send yet, but once it does, let me know because I do need to get it out of there. Otherwise, they're going to take it. And I am like, I hate even saying it, but like I'm so desperate for Christmas money right now. All right, who's next?
Mark.
Yeah, Blue Crossroads. Like I know what it is. I remember getting a free trial of it for 7 days, which I ended up not needing. But 3 days in, my mentor reminded me. He's like, cancel that stupid thing you ordered. He's like, that's not what I was talking about. I canceled it. They never sent me an email, though. They sent me like the little thing, and I did screenshot it on my computer, but they're saying because I never received a validation email that it never actually went through, so I still owe them. This is like 8 months. I've tried calling them. I've tried the chat bots. I've tried getting Cash App to just block them from doing it, but they won't do it until it's very annoying. Very annoying. Again, getting very personal. Sorry, guys. Who's next?
I said Mark.
Okay, I didn't hear you.
That's all right. You're fine.
This is the one that burns really bad. And because it burns, it makes your lips blow up. It's got bee venom. I'm going to rub it up your nose.
Gee, thanks.
Well, that's why I was going like that. All right, Sir Mark. What are we doing for Mark here? All right. Okay.
Get a chance to look at private chat.
Mm-hmm. I wore a brand new green and black dress yesterday.
That dress
yes.
very pretty.
Thank you. I was so happy about that dress. I didn't think it was going to fit right. I never wore it. Latro, I actually did. I was just going to say that. Thank you. Because looking at my Cash App, I was just reminded of that. Mark, we're going to use the Oracle of the Shapeshifters for you. Yo, so how about I spoke on the phone to my mom's boyfriend last night? Tell me how. I mean, he's cute. He's an older guy. He's cute for my mom. I gotta say, he's got like dorky dad vibes, you know, like the Hawaiian tucked in shirt with the beige pants and the little glasses. He's adorable. I love him for her, and his energy is amazing. Tell me how. I was like, hey, what's up? How are you? And he's like, I can't even do the accent, but he was like, oh, it was he sounded like an islander. But like, really? I would compare him, Ghost Dragons, to like someone like you.
Really?
And I said, what is that accent? And he's like, oh, my accent. He's like, I'm just from Canada, man. French Canadian. Yep. I didn't know that accent. It was amazing. It was awesome.
Those were the ripper hose. I remember that, Blue.
I never thought in a million years. Smoochie and I were just saying that, and I said, down your ASS with a piece of glass. That's what I always heard. Up your nose with a rubber hose, down your, you know what, with a piece of glass. Lotus Girl, love you.
Good night, sweetie.
I
will too.
But yeah, I never thought like my mom would have like, because like she was married for 30 some odd years to my stepdad. Like they loved each other, but that was like a friendship love. this is something totally different for her that I don't think she's experienced since she was very young. Maybe with my dad, and they split when I was 9. So it's so cool to see her like giggling and just, my son isn't happy.
So it is like I told you it would be, right?
Yeah.
I told you it'd be like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And,
awesome.
I know she doesn't mind me vaguely talking about it. I brought it up because I love the guy's accent. It's so cool.
That's French Canadian. That's funny.
Okay, Mark, this is a pretty good card, I believe. The Mermaid of Immersion. Complete Commitment. Card number 44. Mermaids do not live only on the surface. They live in the beneath, underneath what you see taking place. You have been a surface dweller for far too long, and you are being asked to immerse yourself in the strange world beneath the waves. Here you will discover great treasures, Mark. You will see the mermaid's necklace brimming with wisdom, which will be yours too, and the delicate, strong, bright clownfish swimming around her, who are now able to clear you of toxins, to assist you to see your true beauty, and to transmute the poisonous limitations you have set upon yourself and on your very reality. You will no longer need to concern yourself with so much protection, as the changes you are making will make you virtually invisible to troubles and harmful others who once would disturb you. This immersion is the road to real rebirth. All will change, and you will finally be fully alive to trust yourself. The Mermaid of Immersion speaks. It has come time to completely involve yourself. You have been holding back, only going so far with a new project or with a commitment to yourself, always pulling back at the last moment from taking that final step. You are holding a part of yourself back, watching, judging, always assessing whether this is right or wrong. You are surrounding yourself with what you consider to be protection and what humans call buffer zones. And you claim you want change. You claim you wish to understand. You claim you wish to have this done. If this is true, then the time has come to take a deep breath, dive off the edge of the cliff, and immerse yourself fully in the waters of change. Do you guys see a pattern here of taking leaps of faith and actively going against all of our good judgment? Again, not in a dangerous way, right? But just, what happened, Blue? Just putting yourself out there and like taking these crazy risks that like you're just like, I don't care. Like, I need to try this. And this energy seems to be, as far as I can see, at least with the readings tonight, is like that's what's happening. It's so cool. Go underneath to the truth of what has happened and surround yourself only with what supports that change. The time has come to remove the buffer zones and to have enough faith in your friendships and family relations to know that if they are meant to be, they will be there when you return. You need not take this plunge. It is not compulsory, but it is what you have claimed you wanted. Divination. This has been a time of always planning, not doing, procrastinating and making excuses for holdups, reasoning to not go ahead, choosing to live on the land of excuses and old ways when the deep underneath is calling for you. Mark, your soul has asked you your soul has asked you to do this, but you continually waste your time and fritter it away. It's precious, it's bright, it's good. This is different from enjoyment. This is fear masquerading. There are poisons and toxins, old thoughts and patterns that you have maintained. Break free, dive in, dive deep. Be surrounded by and belong to the beauty you wish to become. When you return to the land, everything will have changed in beautiful ways. So I don't want to give, have a great weekend, Jim. Thank you. I don't want to give these overall judgment statements, right? But I do feel it's almost the same thing of like, well, there's two separate things here. I want to talk about your physical health. It keeps saying poisons and toxins, and I am seeing that in a literal way. I'm not saying you're going out of your way to like hurt yourself with diet. I would say, and I think I've kind of warned you or mentioned this to you before. I don't know if it's like a warning, but your guides are very strong about you watching the medications you're given. I'm not saying they're giving you the wrong medications, or just be mindful of it. Anytime they give you something, I know you told me you do this, make sure you keep doing it, because I see something that is like, what I'm hearing in my head, I'm going to tell you the scenario, and I usually don't tell you guys the exact dialogue in my head, but I'm going to do it right now. I hear someone saying, well, we don't know if this is going to work. But if it does, it could be amazing because XYZ. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then you're like, all right, I'm willing to try anything at this point. I'll try it. But the thing is, if it doesn't work, it's not that it doesn't work. It's that if it doesn't work, you're going to have more problems. Make sure you know, like, the risks of any medications, experimental treatments, things like that. Okay. I don't know what that means. You will know, and that's okay. But that is a warning. I'm seeing that flashing at me as though like warning. The other thing here is like, stop thinking because of your ill health. And I know you're in the ICU, so I know this sounds very out of touch, right? I'm just telling you the message. I would never say this to you because I don't know. The universe is saying, your team is saying, like, yes, you are very, very sick, but you have times of recovery where you could be doing so much more and not even taking risks. I would say doing things that you've always wanted to do, right? I'm not saying the time of your passing is near, but nobody knows how much time they have. And your team is telling you, like, get out as best you can and do these things you wanted to do your whole life. I don't really feel comfortable going much further with that reading, except that, like, as soon as you feel well enough to do certain things, find ways to do them. All right. You might be on limited time, and, limited time could be 10 years, could be whatever. I just feel like if you have a bucket list, start working on it. I think we all should do that regardless of our health. We should all start working on that. So.
Okay. Next is Melissa. I know she's listening. She's working. So.
All right, Miss Melissa. I'm going to use my new deck for Marisha, Sisters of the Sea. What?
You're almost done already, too.
Yeah, that sucks considering how badly I need money.
I know.
Please, guys, if you can, just donate, please. I need to get this gift. Mark, I hope so, Just like I said, I had that whole scene play out in my head, so just make sure no one's keeping anything from you to try to, like, not manipulate you in a bad way, but it's like someone might really believe in this experimental thing. What's up, Jarvis? But, like, to the point where they're omitting important pieces of information, like side effects, or like, it doesn't just not work if it doesn't work. It has, like, this major effect on something. Like, make sure, like, you really know what's going on with you medically. There could be some sort of mistake being made there. And I'm not saying there is. I'm not a medical professional. This is technically for entertainment purposes only. So, you know how you feel and you know what you're dealing with. So, Miss Melissa, Sisters of the Sea. Guys, 1 hour long readings with me through StreamYard. We don't record it. We go into the test room. 1 hour, you can ask questions as I pull cards. We can talk about what's going on with you spiritually. That's 100 for the hour. And if you want just a regular 7 to 10 card reading, that's 60. And that goes by month. I break it down by week. Hit me up, email me or text me or whatever if you're interested. All right, Miss Melissa. Miracle of the Mirror Oracle, card number 7. And I haven't had this deck very long, 2 weeks, I think. This is the 3rd week, and this card has come out a couple times. Tim Mothman, just let us know that you're still here, please, because I'm pretty sure you're next. Melissa, there are 1,000 gifts within the sea. And some of those are able to read the portents of what will come to be and what will come to pass. Within the baby sea dragon who emerges from the Nautilus, the Mirror Oracle sees the birth of a new world. This world is to be one where there is magic with a K, and what once was lost is returned and reborn. Yet it is not the same, and some will deny it could even be possible. When the Myrrh Oracle comes to you, believe the signs you're receiving, especially perhaps always when they come in the number of 3. Something will be born into your life very soon. There will be a new burst of magical energy, and it will not be frail, and it will not be alone. It will be strong, and it will have brothers and sisters. You are the mother of this future, and it is to you that this new world looks. It asks for you to believe that a world with true magic within it, a life lived magically where the abilities deep within you are finally awakened, shall and will come to be. It's nearly here. The signs say it's so, and you are the mother of the new world and of the children and the ideas within it. This doesn't mean you're having kids or getting pregnant, right? But it means like the time is near. And I've been telling you this for years, but this is a whole different type of message. This is a message saying, regardless of if you stay in the toxicity or not, you are changing as an individual. You are changing and branching out and taking risks without fear, right? The reason this is happening, to be frank with you, to be honest, I'll still be Gemma, but I'll be honest, is because you've been in this for so long, eventually not making a decision because you can't, right? Merry Christmas, Mark. Because you can't. And I'll see you before that, sweetheart. You're so sweet. The universe has decided to move for you. And it can't push you. Your team can't get involved. Remember, we talked about tag team wrestling. They can't, even though they want to. It's going to slowly start pushing you out by way of, and it's like the same thing that happened to me, where suddenly it was like my focus was no longer on the toxicity. I was like, screw this, be toxic. Yes, I'm stuck in it, but I'm going to go and do this for myself. Is it easy? No, it's painful. It really hurts. Sometimes I think I'd rather be hit and then apologize to and make up than have someone completely ignore my humanity and existence, right? Physical abuse, the scars heal. But once you get to this place of doing for you, regardless of if the other person likes it or not, even if the other person isn't going to ever validate any of it, even if they put you down because of it, you're not going to have any more choice. You are going to be just pulled towards something that is stronger than the toxic mess you are now trapped in. Ah, Mark, thank you. Thank you. Let me get that out of there. I really appreciate it, guys. I really do. Means so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just going to get it all out and just send it all to Steven so there's no chance of anyone taking it. I love Cash App because I can do the little heart to like, thank you guys. Yeah, I spoke too soon. It's not letting me. But thank you so much, sweetheart. So, Melissa, this is kind of like just telling you you're going to be pulled into something. It's not another relationship. It's something that you really feel like is going to benefit you. And your care cup has kind of overflowed when it comes to this toxicity. Yes, you're still in it. Yes, it still has to be your choice to move out of it. I still feel that person coming in that you connect with. Again, I don't think in a romantic way, but it could end up being that, where something inside of you just understands that this is it. This is your way finally out. It can't be like this forever, you know, and I know that's no comfort because it could be this way for 20 more years and that's not forever. I don't see that though. Something is changing inside of you. This strength that you're finding, your humanity is coming back in a way of your understanding that this is wrong. That's it. You played no part in this. Even if you're just as toxic, if you're not being physically abusive, there's nothing you should be able to do to make anyone lay their hands on you, let alone someone who claims to love you. The behavior is the problem, not your reaction to it. And I feel like you're finally slowly coming into that understanding. And there's something you're going to be pulled towards. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's just something so overpowering to your spirit that it doesn't matter the consequences that are going to come. That might be it. And that might be what leads you. Remember, I told you, I saw that happening. I saw you. I don't want to say too much publicly. I don't know who's listening, but I feel like that's step one. And we have talked about that before. Who's next? I guess Tim Mothman is not here anymore. Probably got tired of listening to me.
Well, actually, he's not next, but he's got time. If he's in here, at least let us know if you don't want a card. But next is actually Bat Mom.
The Bat Mom?
The Bat Mom.
I'm going to use the Lantern Oracle. Melissa, I'm so proud of you. Baby steps. Sometimes we have to crawl again before we can walk. Don't let that be taken from you. You're going to have to fight for that. But I feel like you will, and you'll win. Casey is dealing with the bulk message of her personal. So she said, unless I feel very compelled to read for her at the end, not to, which is okay. Sometimes it takes people time to like assimilate with the reading, to like resonate with it. So every once in a while she'll say like, that was really a lot. Let me deal with that first. So I'm kind of feeling it out. As of right now, I don't think we're going to do it.
Okay.
Responding, Batman. This is just so perfect. Responding, not reacting. Card number 9. The only control we have is in how we respond to the hand we are dealt. And that was like one of the first things I said when I opened up this stream. I just probably said it a lot more, with a lot more words. There we go. Children cannot control their emotions. Developmentally, their capacity is limited to reflexive reaction until the energy is physically released, as the maiden to the left illustrates. This is why the mother, guardian, crone, or male guardian equivalent is crucial to a child's first 8 years of life. The child is dependent upon the guardian to acknowledge, validate, and hold space for the reality of the child's emotional experiences. When a guardian lovingly models for the child how to constructively respond to the full spectrum of uncomfortable emotions, the child learns how to deal with them effectively. Ideally, the guardian will calmly and appropriately support the child until an uncomfortable emotion abates. It is most helpful when the guardian names the emotion, empathizes with the child, and gives assurance that all is or will eventually be okay. When constructive advice is offered on how to restore equilibrium or achieve some form of reconciliation or resolution, the child learns how to process and think in terms of moving forward from an upsetting situation. There is no end to how much such modeling, mentoring, and guidance from a guardian beneficially equips a child for dealing with life throughout every step of it. Emotional support is necessary from a guardian until a child develops the capacity to independently self-regulate when in distress. The maiden to the right of the card demonstrates this internalized ability as she soothes her reactive duplicate to the left. She represents the ideally integrated capacity to diffuse the impulse to react and instead respond after taking the time to consider the most beneficial course of action calmly. I wish Cowie was still in here. Yes, these cards are absolutely gorgeous, Batmom. While our survival mechanism triggers reactive emotions that provide valuable feedback not to be ignored, to react impulsively has the potential to turn a negative situation into a double negative. Therefore, the maidens encourage you to step away and take time out to consider how you might calmly and most effectively respond to whatever this is. The maidens assure you that you have what it takes to stay in your power and integrity as you gracefully attempt to move amicably forward. Maiden's message: remain in your self-control and therefore your integrity as you assert yourself with respect and consideration to all parties involved. If a person or circumstance cannot or will not meet you halfway, empower yourself by walking away. As you leave, feel your emotions and empathize with yourself. Let any uncomfortable emotion be acknowledged and energetically released into a safe space and through your preferred form of movement. Take what is to be learned from the uncomfortable experience and use it to assist you in going forward positively. No, I don't think it's bad, Mom. I feel like it's kind of like you're beating a dead horse with someone. How much longer are you going to keep doing this before you snap and then you're the problem? And I say it that way because that's exactly what this toxic or narcissistic, very manipulative person is going to do. right? They're going to, I have a person in my life who I've learned to kind of deal with. I've studied narcissism when I deal with them. I started noticing though, what they do is like, if I'm like, no, that's BS, like you really upset me, and I start tearing up, they will start going, no, that's BS. You really upset me because I'm a narcissist and you're a narcissist. And then it makes me so angry that I storm off. End of conversation. They are no longer having to be accountable. So now that I'm on to that, I have to find a way to watch this person do this and still stand there in my composure to stay focused on what the problem was in the first place and not let them do that to me. I haven't yet figured it out. I'm still storming off. I'm not throwing anything, screaming. Recently, I did call the person some bad names while they were doing that. And then I ended up feeling guilty later on in the night because I have a soul, right? Because I care. And I feel like the way I reacted was the problem. But I had to really talk to myself. And I'm saying all this for a reason, Batmom, because I think you can resonate with this. Where like, you're calm, you're cool, you're collected, you're stating your case, you're expecting a dialogue, an adult conversation, even if it gets a little heated. And then you're dealing with something that just enrages you. Please understand that this person or these people know that this is going to enrage you. They know that saying this one thing or doing this one thing is going to get you to where you raged. And then they can turn around and say, why would anyone want to talk to you? Look how you're behaving. Then it becomes about how you're behaving and not the original thing you went to them to talk through. I feel for you. It's not easy. I've learned to walk away. I've learned to speak only in facts. I've learned not to share any celebratory news or any bad news. I've learned not to talk about my feelings. I've learned. Is it fair? No, it's absolutely not fair. Nobody should have to live like that, but it is the first step in moving past it. But once someone like this, and I'm not saying anyone's a narcissist, but this is what they do. Once they realize that you're onto them, and they can't get you in all the usual ways, they will start doing things like I just mentioned, where you have to be almost inhuman to be able to stand there and tolerate it. You're being mocked, made fun of, called names. And it's all to take the focus off of their shitty, sorry for my language, horrible, disgusting behavior. Well, Local Squatch, I live it. And I've studied it for years because I don't know that I would be where I am if I didn't know how to deal with this. You know. But Batmom, the reason I bring all of that up, again, I know you resonate with this. Yep. So many empaths do. We are narcissists. We attract them, toxic people. Batmom, in the next 2 weeks, I feel like you are going to have to walk away from this person or this situation. There's no more room for dialogue, and there never was, right? They made you maybe feel like there was, right? You're like trying to get everything out, like even talking over them just because you finally have a chance to say what you need to say. But then they're like, oh, well, you never let me talk. So you're like, okay, go ahead. And then like a child, they're silent for 5 minutes on the other. Nope, I'm not going to talk now because you spoke over me and didn't let me. There's never going to be anything you can say or do where they're not going to twist it to your fault. They are never going to allow you to call them out on their bad behavior. And that's going to be it. And Batmom, I hate that you're dealing with this. Like my blood is boiling just thinking about that happening to me. I'm in the passenger seat of the car. The person is driving a little recklessly. Maybe they're getting tired. I was in a bad car accident in 2005. I still don't walk right because of it. I get scared if like trucks get too close or if like you swerve even a tiny bit. And this person has a habit sometimes of falling asleep at the wheel and like popping back up. So I'm always on edge. They swerved. I said, I'm gripping. I'm like, please don't do that. And the person's like, well, the truck that drove by pushed the car. There was some air there. And as I was about to say, oh, okay, that makes sense. I only went like this, and they swerved back again. And I said, you just did what I told you terrifies me. You did it on purpose. And they said, no, I recreated what happened. I said, yes, you did it again. You did what I told you terrified me. You did it again. You did it on purpose. No, I recreated what happened. I said, yes, that's you doing it again. No, that's me recreating what happened. And there was going to be nothing more of it. That was all that person was going to say. And the way they said it was like this. No, I recreated what happened. So when you're dealing with stuff, that mom, I feel for you, but you've got to walk away from it. There is no getting anywhere. It's pointless. It's useless. It's soul sucking. They are, energetic straws. Whatever this situation is, whoever this person is, however you're invested in whatever this is, you're never going to get to where you feel you want to be. You've got to walk away. You will lose every time. And I hate that. I hate that message for you. But don't let a terrible mistake hold you back just because you spent a long time making it. Right? If you've been in this for, say, 8 years, 10 years, 15 years, so what? Get out of it for 8 years, 10 years, 15 years. And I know it's not like that. I'm just saying, if you are asking a question or wondering, this is hopeless. This person does not care. They have no interest in what you have to say. If they cared, they wouldn't have been doing those behaviors in the first place, right? Like I'm told, I'll be like, well, why didn't you just call me and tell me that? Because I knew that you were going to yell. Oh, so you knew I'd be angry and you went and did it anyway? I knew you were going to yell. Yes, but you knew I knew you were going to yell. So they won't say, yeah, I knew you were going to be mad and I didn't care, so I just went and did what I wanted to do anyway. They're never going to have that. Some of them have moments of clarity where it feels like, they get it, they understand. They only do that when you start slipping away a little bit. I don't even get that much. I'm told whatever, So, sorry to go off on a rant about my own life, but I feel very connected to what you're dealing with. And local squatch, if you're dealing with that, the best thing to do is just emotionally detach. Because if you're emotionally connected, your feelings are going to be revved up a million times more than if it was a stranger on the street. Even if it's someone at work, someone you have to deal with. Narcissism, main character syndrome, they run rampant. Sorry, I'm fired up a little bit. I was so mad. I'm so mad to be being treated this way and to know other people are being treated this way. That's why we have to pour into ourselves.
Mine's next. And then that's it. Would you like to want me to donate some money and you can do some of these people who are just hanging out?
Yeah, if anyone just hanging out who hasn't donated and isn't a member would like a reading, let me know. I'll see how many there are.
There's only a couple that I see, but Divine's next. So if Howie comes back, he can get one. And then local, and if Live with Bobby's still hanging out in the background. And
I thought Howie would for sure want a reading.
Yeah, he may come back. Sometimes they come back.
I feel like I need to read for him. I'm hoping he comes back. Okay. Batmon, when you get better service, come back and listen.
And Ashley, she's at the store, so she'll be late. So she wasn't going to make it. So she asked if I could get her.
Yep, of course. Yeah, because we don't have Lotus. We don't have KC. Right. Heather didn't come in and ask, so we don't have timestamps. So Ashley's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, even if we did, I would still do it for her, but I'm saying that's simple. All right. Divine, I am using the Oracle of Shadows and Light. That's what it is. Local squatch, your light irritates their demons. I go out sometimes if I shield myself really well, like if I'm going to a street fair or something like that, even like a water park. If you shield yourself the right way, you will watch people, I guarantee it, who will take one look at you and they will cross the street to avoid you. And that's because you are blocking them. You're blocking their negative energy. It's very easy to do. What's up, Smoochie girl? So shadows and lights. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, if you didn't hear me say it earlier. All right, I love this card. The Violet Angel. It is my favorite number, card number 23 for Divine Empathic. You know what, though, Local Squatch, that's not on you. You're there to do your job. And I know that sounds so selfish, like that's not my job. But if you're not appreciated, that's not your job. But I get it. I really, really do. I was a waitress for 15 years and my managers always hated me. I don't know why. I always did extra work. I stayed late. Sometimes I would open and get no break and close. I'd be working 18, 19 hours a day, 7 days a week because I lived upstairs. And the manager, if I wanted to have a cigarette when I had no tables, would curse at me and tell me no. I had one manager that, as a joke, would follow behind me while I was holding a huge tray of food in a busy restaurant going, Gemma drops the plates. Gemma drops the plates. As I sit there, like, I'd be like, stop it. People are just toxic. You've really got to pick who you spend time with. My sister said suddenly she feels like she's got something really negative in her house. Her dogs go crazy every night and are attacking the air. She hears banging noises and growling that aren't coming from her dogs. Something sitting on her bed. And I was like, well, you always have people in your house. And when my sister throws a party, she's one of those people that's like, oh, you have 17 friends I don't know? Yeah, bring them. You don't know those people, what they're into, what their energy's like. Divine, this beautiful angel appears when something new is on the horizon. She is the color of dawn, and she waits for you to become aware of these wonderful possibilities. When she appears, it is a sign that many wonderful coincidences, events, friendships, and changes you've been longing for are about to arrive at last. She wishes to arouse you so you will be ready to take full advantage of all the new blessings that are coming soon. Wake up, get ready. The Violet Angel speaks. There have been times recently when you felt you've lost your spark and that your physical body has been exhausted, almost as if you were born to be tired. It has been a long night of the soul, but now I am here to let you know that not only has the quote-unquote worst passed, but the best is on the horizon. It's faint and it is gathering energy, but it's on its way. Soon, with this new dawn, your energy will begin to flow again, and you'll feel reconnected to your own internal power source once more. Your spirit will blossom, and your intuition will hum. Please wake earlier and be ready to begin our work on this new project by spending time outside in nature early in the morning. I've been watching reruns of Roseanne for the last 3 days. I'm on season 4. It's just nostalgic for me. Divination message. With fresh hope after a difficult time, something new breaks through and shows evidence of its approach, and with it, your new reality. You have good reason to feel optimistic, cheerful, and like something has changed on a permanent basis. You're on the verge of a new day, and it is in these delicate and faint beginnings that something strong and bright will come. Do not wish it to hurry up to the brightest part of the day. Enjoy this tender new birth of a time which you have longed hope for. Gratitude and awakenings, early rising, and trying new things are all on the agenda with this beautiful violet angel of spiritual awakenings flies into your life. Yeah, so this is pretty amazing. And we've talked about this before. It's like, you're in this fresh cycle, this awakening after the dark nights. And I feel like you're just kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, grabbing the bull by the horns, right? You're just going for it without putting too much thought into it, without too much overthinking, which you don't have to be an air sign to do that. I don't have much air in my chart, but the air placements that I do have, it's a lot of overthinking energy. So Divine, I feel like this is telling you just spend a little more time outside in nature. Try not to allow yourself to become physically exhausted, whatever you can do to try to avoid that. That way you keep moving, not to the point of exhaustion, but you want to try to take better care of yourself maybe, or add like jogging or a morning walk into your routine, something that involves you being out in the sun, things like that, right? Just being out there. And I am getting sunlight. So I'm seeing like the dawn, the, violet angel, she's color of dawn. But it's just opening your energy to all of these amazing blessings, not that are being given to you, that you've worked hard for, that you've aligned yourself with through hard work. Don't second guess taking these chances. Like I've been saying all night, right? Don't second guess why would someone, we have this habit because a lot of us have been so mistreated of thinking like, oh, that's nice that you're offering, you're offering to give me a place to live for cheap because you own property, but what's in it for you? Do you know what I mean? Like we have a tendency to do that, and it's very good. We should. But in this situation, Divine, I don't think you have to worry about that. I feel like whoever is coming to you, giving you this offering, this amazing thing, It's simply because you earned it. You deserved it. Maybe they don't even know why. It could be the universe compelling them because it's time that you guys meet, connect, come together, and you attain, or achieve whatever this is. This is an amazing reading. It's very, very, very uplifting and positive of just you coming out of this dark night of the soul very slowly and moving into awakening without looking back. It's hard. It's hard not to look back. But the more you look back, the less you're going to be looking forward. You're going to end up tripping, and then you're going to have issues, right? Take it as a gift. All right, guys. If you didn't get a reading, if you couldn't pay for a reading, let me know now. I'm going to give 3 minutes because otherwise I'm going to end and go shower and chill. So I have no problem with reading. It's still early, but let me know. Good. I'm so glad, Divine.
Well, local, do you want a reading? Smoochie, we got you covered this time around.
Yes, Smoochie. What I'm trying to do is like not every week because I don't want it to be the same people because then it's not fair to the people who do pay. But every once in a while, I'm willing, like if I were given a little extra donation, which I was, Mark paid for an extra 4 people to get readings. So that's 4. So local Squatch, Smoochie, and 2 others or whoever else. I'm going to start with Smoochie because I know she wants one. Local Squatch, yes. Let us know. Let's do El Quay. You're so welcome, Divine. Thank you. Thank you again for supporting me in way of buying a box. That means a lot to me. We're not talking politics in here at all. No. Don't do that.
Check your chat.
Even if I'm on your side, I still don't want it being spoken. Well, whatever. Let her stalk me. I don't care. I'm not getting involved in her little baby girl drama. I don't owe her access to me. When you threaten to reach out and contact my family for a thought in your psycho head, I don't owe you access to the rest of my family on my social media. Girl, bye. Do what you think is right. I'm 41 years old. I'm done with that. And I had a feeling that was her too. I don't care. What did you think of being here talking about her? I hadn't even thought about her in 6 months until she came up with that crap. I have a jealous hater, guys. She wants to fight me. Didn't even remember her name. And you know what's funny? I found out that like my name has been in her mouth arguing with her significant other for months.
For months,
Imagine that. I'm over here, don't even know this girl exists.
It's pathetic.
It is pathetic. Pathetic. And that's all I'm going to comment on it. And she's not blocked from this channel.
No.
Just from my social media. You're going to threaten to tell your crazy, deranged stories to my family members, and you think I'm going to keep you on my social media? No, girl, no.
Did you want one live with Bobby?
Life with Bobby? Yeah, if you want a reading, please let me know. Local, same thing. If you don't want one, that's perfectly okay. Roger, if you're still in here, whatever. Let's do Smoochie. You got Yelena. She who knows wisdom, clarity, and resolution. And unfortunately, guys, we no longer have Ryan with us on Tuesdays for personal reasons, which is really sad. I'm going to miss him, but he has some other projects he wanted to work on. He might come back at some point, but probably be us during afternoon talk when I can even do it. I only have 2 weeks of work. And again, Christmas money is coming only from donations. So I got to do what I need to do. So we might not have afternoon talk till the new year. Smoochie, Yelena, she who knows, has a thoughtful gaze that allows her to see each of us for who we really are. One of her gifts is the ability to clarify things. She cuts to the heart of the matter using wisdom and insight in tandem. Rather than limiting herself to only intellectual or only emotional clues, Yelena processes all information through both her heart and her head. Her ability to know things may seem uncanny to most, but she is merely using her natural abilities. For her, it's exercising more than one muscle at a time. You're so welcome. This card invites you to revisit a recent worry. I just want to say, sorry, Smooch, but I've got to say, this stream was never meant to be about money, and it will never be about money to the point where I turn people who need readings away. I just also want to be paid for my time until I find a job that isn't going to replace me with AI. So this is not forever. This is for now. Don't ever let it make you, if you want a reading, you ask, and I will try my best to accommodate you without making the people who are paying feel bad. So don't ever, even if you have to privately message me, I'm totally okay with that, guys. It's not supposed to be about money. It's about the vibe and the message. Okay. I'm not that person. I never could be, even though I tried. Let your heart have reign, Smoochie, then engage your mind as well. Set both to working on the problem. When you use a multi-layered approach to issues, you may find an out-of-the-box solution. Balance is the key when this card shows up. Look directly into the heart of the matter, then move up to the head. Once you unearth the emotional and intellectual why of this question, you will be able to clearly see the way to resolving it completely. Often, the resolution presents itself in an unorthodox way, so pay attention to all of the things coming your way. Be open to the answer. What emotional clues should you be paying attention to? What are the intellectual clues telling you? How can you open yourself up to seeing all of the facts? Yeah, great at summarizing things, but here's the thing. You're an Aquarius sun. Regardless of the rest of your chart, that tendency to overthink is always going to be there. But with Aquarians, the one air sign in sun and moon, where overthinking actually helps, that is where you're in your element, usually. In this particular case, Smoochie, it's looking at what is going on in the heart, what is going on emotionally in this situation that is causing the disturbances. There's a miscommunication here. Yeah, I don't like beating around the bush either, Smoochie. I will literally tell people to their face, like, that's great. But my dad yells at me all the time, or used to, because he'd be like, hey, Gemma, this is my friend John. And I'd be like, oh, hey. And then John starts like this whole conversation. I will literally walk away while you're in the middle of talking and not even realize that I'm being rude. I just can't. Like, hi, nice to meet you. I need nothing else from you. I don't want to be friends. So that should be the end of our conversation. Hey, baby dragon, we're just going to do your reading in a couple minutes. Smoochie, I just feel like your intellectual reasoning right now is less helpful than trying to emotionally connect, to try to empathize with the other person, even if like you think they're being ridiculous or the situation is ridiculous or whatever it is. That shouldn't invalidate it. So, for example, if I tell someone what you did really hurt me, right? I have someone who will constantly come back and say, well, that's stupid. It shouldn't have. If you love me, though, even if you think it's silly, you should still be upset or at least concerned that it's hurting me, right? And we should talk about that so you can tell me why it shouldn't and why it's silly. There should be dialogue, okay? I feel, Smoochie, like you're the one, and this isn't a judgment, I get it, who is no longer open to the dialogue. You have become in this situation and or relationship to the point of like, it's not even worth a try anymore. Like you're done, you're tired, you're spiritually, I don't want to say bankrupt, but like you're vibrating lower than you should be. And that's because you are worn out. You're worn out mentally, physically, spiritually. You are dealing with literally like a human straw. Try to change it up a little bit, because I feel like this is a situation you can't just walk away from. You can't just get out of, right? So what do? Try at least to emotionally connect. Why are you being this way, right? You ask the person, why are you being this way? What are you feeling? Have I done something? But then you have to be willing to listen to what they perceive as something you've done, right? Yeah. And normally that's okay. Like I said, Aquarius suns, Aquarius moons specifically, that works for them. Y'all are like the only sign where like people are just like, well, that's just Aquarius. But in this particular situation, you can't do that. You have to find the emotional connect, or at least try to, right? And then you can say, look, I've tried everything here. To be honest with you, Smoochie, I don't think it's going to work. I think this person, I don't think they were always toxic, but I think there's a lot going on that has made them no longer receptive. And that's okay. But you do need to try, because the timeline could change. This person could surprise you. Or you could say to yourself genuinely like, yo, I've tried everything. there's nothing more to do, because there isn't right now. This person's learning lessons that you have no idea about, and you're learning lessons I don't even think you realize. Big ones, great ones. But while you're in it, it just sucks. All right. So try so that you can at the very least can say, look, I came down to earth. I did my best here, and mean it and be confident in it. Life with Bobby. Smitchy, that sucks too when you have to do things like that. Life with Bobby, I'm using Aether Creatures. Then we're going to do Baby Dragon. We're going to use Della and Wait or Myths and Mermaids. I'm not sure yet.
Mike.
Of course, Mike, stop asking. We're almost done, though.
Mr. Behold. I'm going to send him my Thor's hammer.
All right, so Life with Bobby, you got a familiar character to this stream. This character comes up a lot in other decks. Never in this one, though. You got Cernunnos, or some people call him Cernunnos, even though there is no soft C in the Gaelic language. Card number 43 in the upright. If Cernunnos has appeared to you right side up, now is not the time to hesitate, procrastinate, or to be indecisive. Believe in yourself and see that you possess the very thing you are looking for from others. The universe is not saying that you're on your own in this situation. It's saying that you need to see what you're made of. Perhaps in this situation, looking to be rescued by someone else or something outside of yourself is what stands between you and self-actualization. In other words, you have no idea of your true power, strengths, and capabilities until the day that there is no one there with more power, strength, or capabilities to bring about what you want. Cernunnos does not appear when it's time for you to face your powerlessness. He also does not appear when you need to be realistic or humble. Quite the opposite. He comes when you need to think big, embrace big confidence, be decisive. There it is. Step into your power and act urgently. For this reason, appearing to those who are stuck in the victim position and looking for rescue when they do not need to is a favorite pastime of Cernunnos. He possesses the medicine of inevitable victory, which is why he was once a revered battle mascot. Cernunnos teaches no guts, no glory. Life with Bobby, yeah, I feel like you just really, you're welcome, Smoochie, need to stand up for yourself. Everything that you need and I don't mean this in a judgmental way. I'm literally repeating what I'm hearing. So I'm seeing this situation where it's like you're looking for validation, right? You said you were going to do X, Y, and Z. You did it. Now you want to be acknowledged for it, right? Somebody asked you to do something. You did it. No problem. It wasn't easy. You got it done. Now they're nowhere to be found, or they're looking at you like so. I have 6 years off drugs completely and totally, never once messed up, on December 21st. I was so excited and so proud. And then someone said to me, most normal people just don't do drugs. Like, what are you celebrating here? 6 years without drugs? Well, most normal people go a lifetime. What do you want, a cookie? And that reminds me that, like, I'm proud of me, right? So that's what this is, Life with Bobby. It's you have to find that validation within yourself and stop looking to outside sources for it. Even if you feel like they owe you, right? Even if you feel like they, I did this for them, right? They asked me to do this. Like, where are they? This is about you. This is about you validating you. Well, you know what? I did what I said I was going to do. I took these risks. I killed it, right? When my first book came out, it was a dream come true since I was 5 years old to be a published author. I was dancing around the house. The person who's supposed to support me the most looked at my book and went, and tossed it on the table. And there it sat for 3 weeks until I took it and donated it to a local rehab. It took several books, but I'm proud of me. I can't believe I was able to do that. That's what we're talking about here, Life with Bobby. It's not saying that you're like a perpetual victim. It's saying that you have been taught that you need outside validation, that you need people to tell you, like, good job, or no, you didn't do that right. No, honey, you have your own instinct. You have your own intuition. Yes, You need to have more confidence. And that starts, you know how I started? By looking in the mirror, watching myself lose my beautiful black hair that I loved so much, and still telling myself, you're brave, you are beautiful, look at all of your accomplishments, look where you were 10 years ago, look what you've achieved. Your life, even though some parts of it are a nightmare to you and you cry yourself to sleep at night, 10 years ago, this would have been your dream, even with the crying yourself to sleep. Gemma, get it together and focus. And you need some of that. And there's nobody that can give it to you, though. So this is the universe telling you, look, lean on your guides if you need to. All right? Take the reins in your own life. You don't need anyone else to validate you. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are bold. And you have what it takes. Thank you, Miss Smoochie. Lotus Girl and Arisha sent me a whole bunch of really amazing stuff for my hair. It is starting to work. Some of it was for skin too, though. Man, my skincare routine, thanks to these ladies, is amazing. Everyone compliments my skin nowadays. And the hair is doing all right. I noticed yesterday that there's one person in my life, like even on Halloween, the 40 other people we were with told me how great I looked. Yesterday, I wore a brand new dress. I was a little self-conscious. The person that knows me best and knows how self-conscious I am about my body, I'm used to weighing 100 pounds soaking wet. I've always been super duper thin. It was really like sickly thin in my addiction. They know that I'm losing my hair. They know why I mostly wear the wigs. They know I can't stand what I look like. They know. They're always the one person to withhold the compliment. Even yesterday, everyone told me I looked beautiful, complimented my dress, complimented my hair, complimented my skin. This person, I was like, wow, you look really nice. And they're like, thanks. And they walk off as I do a twirl in my new dress.
You look good. I love that green dress.
Do you guys see that? I brave, I bold, I boo boo bold. A big, a brave, a boo boo boo. Yeah. Actually, Mike, it's funny because as I was saying that to Life with Bobby, that's actually what I was thinking.
She look, hey, slow motion.
Slow motion. Yes, slow motion, exactly. All right. We are using for Miss Baby Dragon. Welcome, slow motion. Myths.
You are here, Ashley, right? You're here, aren't you? You're listening,
if
aren't
not,
you?
Just timestamper.
Yeah, I will.
So who is left that wants a reading? Let me know now. We have a couple more left that are bought and paid for.
Okay. Yep.
That would be Mike J if you want one, and slow motion and local squatch.
Oh, he came back. That's right, he did.
I think I saw them. I don't. Yeah. All right, Miss Ashley. You got the Stardust Angel, card number 22, in the upright position. Present and center. All right. I like it. Hey, yo. Miss Baby Dragon, by the way, I'm so proud of you. I wish, and I understand if you can't, I wish I could share your posts for the vote. I get the option of liking, commenting, or sending you a message. There's no share option on that. That's why I haven't been sharing it. I would have to screenshot it, and then there's no links. A dazzling beauty floats on the water, but her gaze is fixed towards the night sky. Her soulful eyes seek guidance from the heavens that are radiantly reflected in her hair. Divination meaning in the upright. Follow your guiding star. We all have someone in our lives that we can look to as a role model, somebody who can guide us in times of trouble or uncertainty. Now is just such a time, and it's your best interest to turn to this person or to follow his or her example. Their wisdom, good sense, and strong moral compass, sounds like your dad, are precisely what you need to get your own life back on your preferred path. I feel like this is you following your dreams, though, and knowing that you have a person like your father in the background, rooting you on, cheering you on. He helped raise you. You have his power inside of you. And I know your mom's no slouch either. I love Tina. I've spoken to her once. everybody can be a pain in the butt, Ghost. So, and your dad has never said a single bad word about her. Like, he always raises her up. I love it. And it brings tears to my eyes because I wish I had people in my life that when I'm not around say things like, oh, she's a great mother. Like, she may be a B word over here, but like, she's a great mom. Or I don't think I have people like that. Like in like my actual life, right? Maybe my mom. This is you knowing and like drawing on that power, doing what you're doing. You're achieving your goals. Your dreams are coming true, like 1, 2, 3. And they're not big, gigantic, I want to be rich and famous goals. These are reasonable, easily obtainable goals. I'm not saying it is easy. I'm just saying for your life path, right? For how you charted this. You have people backing you up. Look, you made it this far just by people voting for you and putting themselves out there for you, taking that second to do that. People won't do that for just anybody. Even a split second of their time is too much. They need to scroll. They have places to be, things to do. And I really think you do recognize that. This is the universe telling you, keep looking at the stars, right? Keep following every dream that you have, particularly in this area, because you are amazing. And I do feel like this is something big in your life that's going to go on for a really long time. Even if there's trouble in it, you always have that guidance, and you have the guidance of your ancestors and of your team. You are on the absolute exact right track. And that's why things are going a lot smoother now. Again, not saying it's easy, going a lot smoother now than they would have had you done this 10 years ago. Because now is the time you were meant to come into all this. I love that your mom's your best friend. My mom's my best friend. And so is my dad, right? Not everyone has that. I feel like this is the universe telling you it's the exact right time. So don't cut corners, which I know you won't. And don't think like, okay, this is enough. It's never enough. If you want to do something more, do more. If you're good where you are, stop. Make sure you're making those decisions because it's your instinct, intuition, and spiritual power that's leading this whole thing. It would fall apart without you. Everyone involved knows it. The final decisions should always come to you. So don't be pushed for more if you feel comfortable, and don't stay comfortable if you feel like there's more. Mike J really is. He's one of the best I know. You know, it's just, I know, but it's just facts though. It's not even, you know, it's not even like we have to sit here and say this. It is just simple facts. You know, I've never met anyone quite like you.
All right, do Mike next. Let's do Mike.
Okay.
Then we'll
Mike, you want a reading? Sometimes Mike doesn't want one.
That's true.
Slow motion, I think, does. Guys, you got to let me know because I'm going to end and shower. I don't care about reading them.
Even if he isn't wearing pants. He's not going to let it go. He's not going to let it go.
I'm glad everyone forgot about my underwear fiasco 3.5 years ago.
No, we were talking about it last Saturday.
That was horrible.
Mike, did you want one, sir? And then we'll do Mr. Slow Motion. And then she can call it a night, I guess. Unless Local wants one.
Oh, Divine, thank you for that. Yeah, guys, let me do these readings. My son is, of course, in some crap. Did you ever want to get your hands on someone half your age and twice your size?
Yes, ask my daughters. ask Ashley, she'll tell you right there.
And there's a part of me that doesn't want to, because if he's still connected to this and they get back together, I'm not going to be the bad guy where now I don't get to see him because she doesn't like me anymore.
Being a bad guy. Ask Ashley.
Yeah, but I spent 13 years without my son.
I know.
You know what I mean? I don't want to do that again.
I know. Go ahead and do Mike.
All right. Slow motion. I'm actually going to use Della and wait.
You can do slow motion.
No, I'm transmuting my emotions right now. I am livid angry.
So you're doing slow motion or Mike?
Slow motion. Mike said no, thank you. Mike, whenever you're ready.
Yep.
And I like her. She reminds me so much of me at that age. She reminds me so much of me at that age. But all the bad things too. Thank
She
you.
is too. She is too. You just
You know,
gotta work.
even like the mental illness
crazy.
stuff, the crazy mood swings, the no motivation, do everything for me because my dad said I'm a princess my whole life. And it's like the good things, the beautiful things, but the bad things too, that it took me so many years to grow out of. And unfortunately, like, I'm getting a taste of my own medicine is what's happening here.
Sometimes what goes around comes around, but that could be a good thing too. Even the bad stuff can be a good learning experience. So
yeah,
you got to pat you on the back and run away when you pull the shank out, and
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this as soon as I turn this stream off.
Yeah, because I'm worried. I've been worried about him. He's been on my mind.
Okay, so McAfee decides to pop up right in front of everything and start scanning. Okay. Slow motion. Yeah, local Squatch, and I'm always going to be here for him. And if she's connected to him, I'll always be here for her. Even if deep down inside I don't particularly like her, I can't hate her if he doesn't. If that's someone I loves, I'll accept her. But I don't think it'll ever be the same. Yeah, Batmom, that's what it is. It's never going to be the same now. Because now I have this whole other vision. I already knew, but like it was being maintained. There were no problems that I saw. My son was happy. I'm just done. I'm done. And I'm going to have to get involved. Okay, so slow motion, this card uses the female, but it doesn't mean that, you're a female. It's just about a female that just happens to be who the story is about. Donkey skin. My father had this crazy plan of marrying me. I tried to discourage him by asking for incredible dresses, among which a dress as bright as the sun. As he could provide them, I asked for his magical gold producer, donkey skin. And when he provided it too, I escaped, disguised in the same donkey skin. Eventually, I found a prince. My father married another woman. I could shine again in my beautiful dresses, and everything went well at last. You have run away for too long, slow motion, hiding yourself from the world, feeling ashamed or lonely, maybe disguising your true feelings, your true face, and your true beauty. There's nothing to fear anymore. You don't need to put on an ugly skin. A time of radiance is beginning for you, so dare to show your true colors. Put on your brightest outfit and shine like a sun. Light fits you so well. Slow motion. Okay. This is like, I feel like you're either meeting a new group of people or you've decided to just be yourself in a certain situation. So you know how, like, I know for me, I used to be this way where I felt like, for example, Thanksgiving dinner, depending on whether so-and-so was there, was whether or not I would talk about what I do for a living, or I would talk about my relationship, or I'd wear a certain thing, or would I wear. Now I just go and be me. And if you don't like me, that's fine. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to play that game or do that dance. I feel like you're coming into that energy slow motion in some area of your life where you're just going to be you. It's like this charade, or it's either a charade you've been putting on to a specific group of people for some reason. It's probably a very valid reason. You probably feel it is. Or just this detachment of everyone because of something that happened because you were being yourself. This is the universe telling you to get back out there, start shining your light. You're going to attract all new people. For all the people you lose because of your authenticity, you're going to attract 10 more amazing people that are just like you, that accept you for who you are. There is this loneliness around you. And as we know, loneliness isn't about being surrounded by more people. Loneliness is healed by being understood. And I feel like that's what you're in the process of learning. You can be lonely in a room with 100 people. But if you're with one person that understands you, you're no longer lonely. And, loneliness also isn't about proximity. If I'm in a room with 100 people and I'm lonely and I am texting with Ghost Dragons, I'm not lonely anymore because I'm with somebody who gets me and I'm comfortable, even if he's not there in that room. And I feel like you're coming into something. It was a meme, local Squatch, but I do like to take it as my own because I really believe in it. I believe that that's true, and it resonates with a lot of people, It's not about more people. It's about understanding. Slow motion, I feel like it's time for you to I feel like you have accepted yourself for how you are, but now it's time for others to. And the hard thing here is understanding that if they don't, that is on them. You're just not supposed to vibe. This could be a sibling or someone you were always very close to, and then suddenly you're not anymore because people change and people elevate and people even lower sometimes. The answer is not to contain yourself all by yourself, you know? It's to put yourself out there even more and attract people. Good. Whether it's loneliness or whatever it is, there are people now that are meant to come in so that you can shine, so that you don't need to live on your own. And I'm sure you're fine. If it's been over 15 years and you're like, I'm not lonely often, you're good with it. But it's not part of your plan going forward. Now it's time to accept an invitation out somewhere, or it's just about this vibe of doing something different and understanding that if someone doesn't accept what you're doing, doesn't like what you're doing, give you advice that you eventually don't take, that is okay. You're a grown adult with the mental clarity and the understanding of self to be able to make your own decisions, period. And it may suck like having someone mad with you for something you did, but don't let it affect your life to the point where you like aren't living, right? Who's next? Is that it? I'm going to go take care of this, guys. Please don't forget the only pay that I get is through donations. So do what you can, guys, for me. I'd really appreciate it. Buy a box, buy a spray with an oil roller, buy a reading, buy an hour reading, a personal reading, or just donate. I really want to get this dirt bike, but at $400 total, it's a lot. Anything y'all can do. I love you all so much, tremendously. Have a great weekend. No video Monday because I only had 2 days of work this week. And yeah, take it easy. Ghost, I'll talk to you a little later. I'm going to jump in the shower and figure this out. Love ya.
Folks, have a wonderful one, please. We'll see you on the flip.